Make sure you got your clock. Boom.
Hey, it's Red Summer,
And it's Hanifa Walida.
and we are your gay aunties. Hey, baby.
Hey, darlings, coming at you again. And if you are new to the show, you new
We
to the
just,
show.
I was gonna say, we just want to let you know.
It's supposed to be my turn this time to say it. We trying to get organized right here.
Right, well, go
All
ahead.
right. Well, your gay aunties is a weekly podcast about queer adulting. So if you're
Mm.
queer and you're adulting, or you're queer and adulting at an older age, or you're just queer and have questions, or you're just queer and just want to chime in, your Gay Aunties podcast is here for you. And you can always reach out to us. Just send us a letter, send us a poem, send us a fire signal at your gay aunties at gmail.com. We here's for you, children.
Yes. And maybe sending an email is not your thing. Maybe
Oh.
you're a little on the sliding scale of adulthood. You're a little at the beginning, and you like, hey, but I do use social media. You can DM us at your gay aunties on Instagram or Twitter because your aunties are there for you as well.
And we're always your gay aunties everywhere.
Yes,
Everywhere.
absolutely. And some of you are watching us live.
Yes, because we come to you live every Sunday. This is how we record the show via YouTube. So if you want to actually be in the room with us when we're doing the shit, holler at us to subscribe to us on YouTube. You should get a notification. But basically every Sunday at 1 p.m. All right, unless
Eastern time.
otherwise notified. Yes, exactly. Eastern time, New York time, Atlanta time, East
Yes.
Coast time. All right.
And if you are watching live right now, then you know that today is the unofficial red t-shirt day for us.
Yes.
Hanifa and I. We did not plan this. We must have just both been feeling red t-shirty.
Just how old is your T-shirt? Cause my T-shirt's hella old.
Mine is very new, actually. It's
Oh,
one of the
okay.
last things I ordered before everything shut down. And I was like, oh, I'm wearing this shirt. I'm just wear it on the show.
This is one of my favorite old shirts. It's called the Queen's Daughters.
Oh,
My homegirl Kim Knox, she's a promoter among other things out in New York, and this was like one of the many things she promoted back in the days. And I remember I like stole like 10 of these shits, so they kind of lasted me. Cause they were just placed on seats. He was like, oh, nobody grabbing this. Okay, let me get this one.
yeah, those are hot.
You know what I mean? Yeah, and then it's kept up with washer, no peeling off, nothing. It's like it's lasted.
That's cool.
Um.
Mine is a throwback to my upbringing in Chicago. So it
Okay.
says South Side by the Lake.
Mm-hmm. In your case, girls outside by the titties. Cause
I
I
actually
love,
put on a bra today for the show. It be hard. It's so hard out here in these home streets. Like this, I am right now in my office slash conference room slash classroom slash bed. Like this
yes,
is
I've
where I live.
compartmentalized the house as well. I have two rooms, three rooms that I work out of. Just an extra spare room that I record out of. There's like the sun room if I'm feeling like a sun room type of experience, and then there's just a deck on a clear day. Fuck it, I go out there.
Yeah.
House, get a little air.
Yeah,
Uh,
we did get some deck furniture and then we had like a tornado like warning the next day. So then I made the boys go bring all the furniture in off the deck because I was seeing umbrellas and chairs blowing off the neighbor's patios. So
yeah, you don't
we'll
want
get it together.
move furniture and lose a window in the same time. You don't want to do that.
Right.
You know. But how has your corona been doing you since we last spoke?
Much better, much better. I've been able to just kind of lean into it.
Mm.
I think resisting it and being like frantic about like what's happening and when's it gonna like schools are closed. They may not reopen even in August. So I'm like, oh, well, chill then. I'm like, this is what I do now. Like, word. And it makes like
Exactly.
all of those futuristic movies. Like I never understood. That was one of the things that bothered me. In all the futuristic movies, like people lived in these like metal pods and they were like just all isolated and life was dry as shit. And like I was like, is that what y'all want? Like, is that the vision? And now I'm sitting here like in my pod.
Basically.
Like just
Basically.
walking back and forth in my pod, just like super chilling. Like this is normal. And I have just accepted my fate. Like
Um, I haven't accepted it. I have a gripe, a
mm.
corona gripe. And I understand that Zoom is something that is how we're able to connect. That and FaceTime, but really Zoom, you can put a lot of people in the room at the same time. So we're doing birthday parties now, and my homegirl, one of my tightest girls, like she had a birthday party a couple days ago. So I actually got kind of excited. This was my first like Zoom party, right?
Yeah.
So I got excited. I had my intoxicants ready. Was ready on the deck. I was like, we're going to do this. Aside from the fact that we all laughed and cackled and we had fun because, there was high school folks, so people away from, just like a high school person. So it's like,
Hmm.
so old, we fall into old habits of talking shit. But I could not hide the fact, or I did a good thing in trying to hide the fact. I was like, so these is a bunch of people in our homes, everybody drinking, and it's not like we go into her house and you know how you meet people you don't know when you go to someone's party, like people you know and people you don't know, but people you don't know, you gotta get to know them a little bit at a party because it's this real
Yeah.
interaction. You may dance, fuck, you got a new friend, but it's something about everybody being in their squares that I'm over here saying, who these bitches? Like, you know, I
Yeah.
just want to speak to my people. I would find myself being cranky. I was rolling with it. It was all fun and shit. But I was like, So we all in here. And then, like, we got the DJ who didn't have, like, a direct feed in, so who was kind of hearing the music kind of sort of from her thing in the back. So we all trying to dance and shit. And I'm like, but I really don't hear the motherfucking music. You know what I'm saying? We trying to have conversations. Everyone's talking over each other. I was like, oh my God, is this the saddest state of affairs ever in our lives? That this is how
Yeah.
we got to do birthday parties. But we all there because it's like we bigging up our homegirl. Happy birthday, Tanisha. I love you to death. But that shit was bananas.
Yeah. So my homegirl Erica had a Zoom party. I
Uh
think that was yesterday. I feel like it was either yesterday or day before yesterday. Days are a blur at this point.
Whatever.
Uh, no, I think it was yesterday. And so the party started off. Her parents were in the party with us, and she did like introductions of everybody and how
Yay.
she knew everybody, and we got to meet her parents. It was super cool. And then when the parents were like, "All right, y'all, well, we gonna let y'all go," then everybody was like pulling out the intoxicants, drinking, getting their shots together. Now they cussing, and it was like,
I wish we could have had ours a little better because we had a really good friend from high school that she's actually working in the ICU. She's a nurse, so she's on the front line in California.
hmm
So my homegirl like, yo, we want to big up Donna. Because she's doing the real shit. But by the time Donna got into the Zoom party, everybody is lit. And except for me, of course, because I don't drink, right? And
yeah,
I'm looking at Donna. I was like, she looked whooped. I think she walked into this like, this is a little bit too much for me right now. But she stayed because Donna's an amazing person. It's
she's a
like,
champ.
this is my homegirl's birthday, but y'all motherfuckers is over the top. I'm walking into the wrong mode. I get so all over her face. She looks so tired. I was like, oh my God.
Oh.
Poor Donna. But anyway, big up to you, Donna, because you are holding it down. And I know every day is a challenge to your profession and your humanity. And I just appreciate you that you're out there for everybody. But I know you was like, girl,
Yeah.
oh my God. And then we trying to pick her up and everybody's drunk. So you're like, girl, we love you and you're doing all this amazing work. And Donna's like, child, if y'all niggas don't shut the
Right.
fuck up, let me go to bed.
It is a bit of a mess. when everybody's trying to talk. Like, so Zoom totally works for meetings. It
Oh
totally works
yes.
for classrooms
Oh
because you
really?
can
I
mute
heard different.
everybody. The professor can talk when they want to chime in. They can click the raise their hand thing. They can,
Mm-hmm.
one person is zooming in. But when it's a ravelrous kind of situation and everybody is trying to like have a conversation, like it gets a little overwhelming for me. And I remember we did a similar thing when this first started, with my college. So like all the alumni, we have a
Mm.
group on Facebook, and so we're like, all right, we're gonna do happy hour. And one person, I want to shout her out because I feel like she might be a listener of the show. But one person like was already way further along in her shots than everybody else.
Oh no.
And it was like her birthday was the next day. So now you know who you are if you listen. Like her birthday was the next day. And she was like just hype, hype. And then she started telling this story about a fellow alumni who has a what is this? She has marijuana. She has a
Yeah.
marijuana store. Like,
Uh-huh.
what is that called? A dispensary.
Dispensary, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So she started telling the story about the sister that has a dispensary, and all these people on here with like these good government jobs was like, "Hey, sis,
Here
I'm
you go.
out." Click, and you start seeing people like click, click, click. It was hilarious, but like nobody could reel her in because like,
She was gone. She was
yeah,
gone. Yeah, we had one of those too. We had one of those too. He was. I think he started. He was drinking way before this party started. So by the time the party was 3 quarters in, it was like somebody mute this nigga,
yeah,
please.
yeah. And then the messages on the side like, can we mute her? Can we can we just mute everybody and start over? She might not even know she muted. Yeah, it was rough.
It was rough. It
Love
was
you,
rough.
girl.
We love y'all. Love, love, love you all. Love you all. This is the state of affairs that we're in, where we got to have parties like this. But at least we got something to say happy birthday to our home people, you know.
Yeah.
But oh my God, Zoom got to
What
work on that.
zodiac season is this? Are these this three?
It's Aries then. Cause my
Okay,
homegirls are Aries.
got you.
Yeah, yeah. And they
Yeah.
the
Shout
craziest
out to
sign
the
too.
Aries for being flexible and for leading into the technology and not like trying to make everybody else, trying to be in a zodiac celebrations because you live in it. Okay. Just make the best of what you got.
Exactly, exactly.
Well, we not
Anyway, girl,
just have a four zodiac party. We got to shout out everybody in the club for the next
look,
years.
my birthday ain't until October, so I hope to gosh this shit is over. You know, I mean, if it's not, in Zoom we go. I might figure out something different. Cause I can't have that many motherfuckers, cause I think just that my ADD will just lose its mind, and I just like, fuck all y'all. Y'all had the party. I'm going somewhere because this is too much stimulation.
Right. Now, the other thing that I'm
Mm-hmm.
seeing, which is probably how you feel about the Zooms, is how I feel about this. Drive-by birthday parties.
Oh, those are
Have you been seeing
cute.
them? I
I
don't
don't know. I
get
mean,
it.
on the news,
So we all
especially
get
for the kids.
together in our car and we drive past the person's house honking. We have balloons. And then what? Like, then what?
I mean,
Like,
you just wanna see your people on your birthday, and at least you can't though you can't touch them. At least they there in the flesh. It's not like a screen. It's a little bit better.
I don't know.
Uh,
I would rather that's like for me, I would rather the Zoom where we can talk and we can kiki and we can whatever. We all
yeah,
got our own setup over here. I do have some friends who did like a social distancing picnic type of deal where they were all like in their cars, like um like if you would go to a drive through
yeah.
and
Okay,
everybody has all of their stuff in the car and
okay.
everybody was like parked away from each other but close enough to see each other. I was like, I love y'all, but I'm glad we didn't go to that.
Though I did think of this really cool idea. If anyone wants to take it, because I'm definitely not going to organize it. But if you're really a house head and you really want to dance with people, parking lots are fucking empty. If
Mhm.
everybody comes in and parks every other part, like don't park next to each other, park
Yeah.
every other one. You know why you do every other one? Because you park your car in one lot and you dance in the other. Person
Nice.
parks their car and then dance in the other, and then somebody got to be the DJ with a big enough sound system for everybody here. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's like I'm just putting it out there because if anybody in Atlanta want to do that, it's safe. Even if you
Mhm.
dancing and breathing hard, you enough distance where you ain't gonna fuck with nobody. You still probably should wear a mask anyway, but we can still. It's close enough as a parking lot where you have a sense of community.
Mhm.
So I'm just putting it out there. Anybody want to take that idea? Please do it. Roll with it. Okay.
Yeah, in Atlanta, y'all have Starlight. Y'all can still go to the movies and do the drive-through thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess. I guess. But I want to dance, man.
I
And dancing
know.
alone ain't the same. But
Oh,
anyway, let's speaking. We're gonna continue
but
with
there are
Corona.
plenty of dance parties online. DJs abound.
But Instagram, can y'all do it on YouTube or something? 'Cause Instagram, the sound sucks. The
Mm.
sound really sucks. It's not good enough for me.
Well,
You
we
know,
can send our phones to the TV.
still in general, Instagram ain't made for all that no fucking 9, 10 hour DJ party. You know
True.
what I mean? And the DJ like, hey, so and so. I was like, shut the fuck up, play the music. I'm sorry. That's just the kind of bitch I am on the dance floor. Like I don't be hearing all that talking and all that yin yang. And like I want to hear you mix. But that's
Yeah.
me.
We
That's
listened
me.
to Ninth Wonder last night. He didn't have a whole lot of talking in
Good
between.
for him.
Now I know what's his name? Questlove. He
Mm-hmm.
give you a whole history lesson on every album.
Yes, bruh,
And it's
does.
amazing because he knows music.
He
Like
knows
I
music.
definitely get that, from him. But if I just wanna
Yeah,
party, then I might go to.
but he does a lot of chill stuff like reggae, slow jam. So you can maybe you ain't gonna dance to it. You're gonna vibe out anyway. So maybe part podcast, part DJ, part
Mhm.
history podcast and DJ works. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's
whatever.
it's better in the day.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and he usually does like a day party, so to speak. So
Okay. No, Quest. No, he does the he
he
does
did
the
the after
late the.
party at first for D
Oh,
Nice,
okay,
but the
okay.
ones that we've been watching lately have been day parties.
Oh, okay. I haven't caught those. I've just been catching the evening ones. Anyway, all
Hmm.
right. So we got a fuck out of here. That's what I'm calling it. And black women save the world again.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Um, we'll say black women. Well, black women save the world again. Okay. Let me get my notes. Cause we got a big homegirl. So it's this
Have her name?
sis. Yes, I do have a
Oh,
name. Her name is Nurse Tommy Austin. She's the chief executive nurse at University Health System in San Antonio. Okay.
mm,
Homegirl said, wait a minute. Not only do we not have masks, I'm going to do something about that, but I'm going to do you one better.
nice.
I'm not just going to make a mask for me and mines and people who need masks. I'm going to make one that's stronger
Mm,
and filters out even more microscopic particles than N95. She made one that almost they call it N95 because it blocks 95% of these little microparticles.
okay.
Hers goes up. She has a 97 one and a 99 one.
Ooh, thank you, Nurse Tommy Austin.
Yes, thank you,
You gotta
Nurse
be out
Tommy.
here saving us.
That's right.
Amazing.
Black women save the world again.
Absolutely. And shout out to all of those. Definitely this is an extreme case of you are saving the world. But everybody who's doing something to contribute,
Mm-hmm.
everybody who's sitting up on their machines making masks and sending out whatever materials you can, going by to drop off some food to the elders in your community, going shopping for
Word.
them. Our next door neighbor,
Those
Miss
who
Jackie, like
mm,
we love her. We make sure she's good. Like,
exactly those who know and love community. So even when we're in times like this, you can always go to community. You know how to create community. So big up to all of y'all. Now the fuck out of here.
yep.
I may come up with a better name, but that's what I'm calling it now. And of course, fuck out of here regarding Corona. So White people.
Uh-oh.
White people who want to retain the status of white people all the way back to the Civil War, who
Oh.
want to recreate the world where you have all your liberties. It's like y'all need to pick when y'all going to abide by the Constitution and when you're not.
Ooh.
Y'all need to decide this amendment, though I have the freedom to do this, is it in the best interest of the rest of the republic? Because it's not just about you needing to do something or you
Mm-hmm.
not liking someone telling you that you can't do it. So all those white people in Michigan
Oh, yes.
breathing your hot, functified breath on each other, thank goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but what you did two things. One, you not only blocked regular people who are most likely essential workers.
Mm-hmm. Because
Okay,
who else is out unless you're trying to
exactly,
get something in emergency or you're an essential worker?
exactly. You also blocked actual healthcare frontline workers from getting to the motherfucking hospital.
Mm.
Okay, and you endangered us all with your hot breath.
Fuck out of here.
Okay, and so when your ass gets sick, you know, it's like karma's a bitch. Now you gotta go to them same healthcare workers that you unblocked and you done probably, people are dying by the minute. But you know what? I didn't want to even speak my piece. I got somebody else, Mr. James Smith, who
Mm.
was a healthcare worker in Michigan who you were preventing from getting to work.
Mm. Oh, breathe.
No, I'm just coughing on my spit. You know how that go. Not to be
You gotta
crass, but it
explain
was
it
that.
nowadays.
Exactly. Sorry, it's not even big as nothing. It's just like something caught in your throat. And okay. Anyway, so Auntie Henny for okay, y'all. Okay. Anyway, you want to big up Mr. James Smith because while he was in his car, he decided to give them a few words. I cut it a little bit because he said a lot more, but I'll just take the tail end of it. All right, Dr. James Smith.
This is ridiculous. It is unfair for the people that have to go to work every single day, especially in the hospital, to do their job. If y'all don't take y'all asses home, this is what I'm mad about. All you hang out the window, throw your flag out. This is ridiculous. It is unfair for the people that have to go to work every single day, especially in the hospital, to do their job. If y'all don't take y'all asses home, this is what I'm mad about. All y'all want to sit down there and pump your horn, hang out the window, throw your flag out because y'all don't like what somebody told y'all to do? Y'all some idiots. Total idiots. I can't do my job. I can't help anybody because y'all decide to block up every entrance way to get to the hospital.
Hold on, let me go back to us.
Like, come on.
Come on, like y'all ain't thinking this through. I mean, I know y'all don't think much to begin with.
But what I wasn't clear about, maybe this is, I don't know. Maybe I've disconnected from a lot of things. But isn't this their president that told them to stay home?
No, 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 no.
Or they
The
talk
no.
going
Oh
against
no,
their
no, no.
governor?
They coming for their governor. They telling to lock her up too. Lock her
Uh,
up. That's their ring chime there. Lock her up. Lock her up. I'm like,
cause,
because she told
cause she
you,
trying to save y'all life.
you know.
Okay, I don't know. But I
But
saw just a little clip of them rolling with the flags out and the dogs and all of this foolishness, and I just went on in a different direction.
no, oh yes, for sure. But here's the thing. I really feel like, I mean, I'm a history buff. I love reading about history. I love documentary, whatever, anything that got to do with history. I love it, right? But now I actually feel like, all right, so is this what, like, before the Civil War, when all these states are forming these consortiums? Another cute
Mm.
word for motherfuckers. We could succeed. We probably would from your dumb ass. But I'm like, so like, what was the run up to like total mayhem? And I feel like we're living the run up. It's like, in case y'all are not aware, I know you look back at the Depression like, oh, that's that black and white footage. But if you really
Mhm.
look at the black and white footage, all the streets are bare.
Mhm.
All those soup lines are happening. Maybe not in your city, but they are happening, my
Mhm.
friend. Okay? So, though we read history, we also have to recognize we're living in it.
Yeah.
This is not a recession. This is basically a depression that is going deeper into a depression.
Yeah.
And this is not to worry y'all or scare y'all, but it is to keep you on your toes that the reality. I know we joking and shitting kid about being home, oh, we're home, and how do we deal with it, who we're going to be on the other side, and, let me have my creative project, and that's wonderful. And,
Mm.
and that's how we maintain our sense of humanity.
Yeah.
But there are generations, not just those younger than Red and I, my generation. We don't
Mhm.
know nothing about this bullshit.
Yeah.
And not for nothing, the baby boomers don't even know it because they were born after World War II.
After,
The only
right?
people who may still be alive is the silent generation, those who are in their 90s and up, who were old
Mm.
enough to remember the motherfucking Depression. Okay, so if you got anybody in your life that's old and they have their mental faculties together, you better say, what did y'all do?
Yeah.
And black people, when America has a cold, we get pneumonia.
Yeah.
When America gets a scratch, we lose an arm. So you think the Depression was hard for white people?
Mhm.
Okay, it's not a coincidence that we're the hardest hit physically with this because of structural racism.
Yeah.
When shit comes down the pipes, us and Latinos, we gonna be in the fucking corner shivering. Like, so,
Yeah. I was just watching a news story that was talking about like how the financial hit affects businesses and why so many of these companies are, pressing their governors to open the states back up. It's not because the workers are suffering.
yeah.
They do not care. They will fire all the workers and keep
Mm-hmm.
themselves in multi-million, you know what I'm saying, status.
Yeah.
Before the owners of these companies are the ones who have the influences politically, and they are the last ones to be hit.
The last ones.
That's
And a lot of the in the SBA, all those SBA grants, a lot of big companies got those SBA grants. Like, what's that damn first of all, if you're a franchise, you ain't a damn small business.
right.
Okay? But what's that friend? Steak and something. Anyway, it's one of Trump's favorite restaurants. That nigga got 20 million motherfucking dollars from SBA. And I
Wow.
roll up in a little barbecue joint around here that his sister owned. She's like, I applied when that shit first came out. I still ain't hear nothing back.
Wow.
She's an actual small business. She got a little
Yeah.
barbecue joint that everybody goes to, but she went from making $100,000 a month to $50,000 and laying off. She laid off half of her workforce. She's like bare minimum just to keep the lights on.
Wow. And you know what? Shout out to everybody who's still trying to do their work like
Mm-hmm.
in this time. Like this is, we say a lot in this, it's a lot of pressure on, this is the time, you got your time. And some of us are like struggling. Like we are out here trying to do the very best that we can in this time. And so I see you.
Yeah, I see you and I
I
feel
see
you.
you. Mm-hmm.
This is the time not to. I saw a cute meme. Somebody, or rather, it was a. You know how they be capturing people's tweets and then who replied to that tweet. Well,
Mm-hmm.
this girl was like, she was like, see, during this time, this is how you find out who's really your friends. Who checks in and who doesn't check in. And then homegirl below was like, are you really judging your motherfucking friends during this time and who's checking in on you? Do you know this ain't about you?
Mm-hmm.
When people check in is when the fuck they check in, bitch, and that's just
Yeah.
that. Okay? So children,
Yeah.
are you out there kind of feeling a ways because maybe you ain't connecting with your people as you thought you might, or you don't know what people are going through.
Absolutely.
So you need to forgive a lot. Can't forgive it all, but you can forgive a lot. Do not judge
Hmm.
people, and if you got a problem, people not reaching out to you, maybe you the nigga that need to reach out.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. Like maybe they're just sitting at home like, man,
Damn.
she wrong. She ain't even checked on the
You know what I'm
sister.
saying? She know I be having issues. She ain't nobody checking on me.
Absolutely, yeah.
So all we're just saying is take care of each other. Especially if you feel like you're not being taken care of. Maybe you need to put the energy out to receive the energy back during this time. But definitely be gentle with each other and forgive each other. Be forgiving, and yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And stay your ass in the house, okay.
And stay your
Yo,
ass in
in
the
the house.
house.
And buy just a couple of rolls of toilet paper. Like,
Yo,
buy,
okay. Are the stores ever
leave.
gonna get another shipment?
Nigga, yo, I saw a paper towel roll. My mother's been asking for paper towels. I mean, I bought her these bamboo towels, so she don't have to keep going through these paper towels. But she like her paper towels, and every time I do a run, she like paper towels. I was like, God, mom, we can't eat paper towels. You want these goddamn paper towels, girl? I happened to go in Kroger's. I saw one roll. I leaped.
Yep. Yep.
Was ready to knock out somebody's grandma to get this last thing of paper towels for my
I did
mama.
the same paper towel run for the house because we have middle schoolers and teenagers, and they just can't seem to figure out how to keep the food on the plate. So I went to 4 stores. None of the grocery stores, none of the big stores had them. I ended up at like some off brand like store, and
Audi
it
or
was
some shit. Aldi,
three
what that
packs.
shit is.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm not even gonna take all three.
You know what I'm
I'm gonna
saying?
take one. Like,
Y'all need to leave some bleach for people. Y'all need to leave some toilet paper for people. Matter of fact, me and my mom told her we gonna get a bidet. Fuck all the bullshit. We tired of y'all trifling niggas. We gonna be kosher and get ourselves a bidet. Okay? And if you can't afford a bidet, you know what another kind of bidet is? It's called a shower.
yeah,
Okay? But y'all need to
absolutely.
leave bleach. Y'all need to leave the Clorox wipes. Like, leave cleaning utensils for all of us. Leave
Everybody needs them. Like
toiletries.
you having them all in your garage does nothing for the protection of the community.
Exactly. And that shit is going to be refilled so you can buy a couple for your family. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you are living alone, nigga, buy one. If you're a two-person house, I buy enough for me and my moms to get by 2 weeks at a time. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? If you're a huge family, you still buy accordingly, motherfucker. Like, for real. This
yeah.
is we're talking about community. You got to think about others. Y'all hoarding like this shit's gonna go on for years. And even if it does, the stores will can supply itself if y'all
Mhm.
niggas just take y'all share.
Yeah.
God, we're gonna implode as America because we don't know how. We don't know about no damn community. God
Mhm.
damn, y'all. Okay, y'all, let's move on to the goddamn
And
break.
with that, before we leave that,
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say also shout out to the stores who have like senior shopping hours.
Yes. And shout out to Tyler Perry for paying for senior shopping at all the Krogers out here. One day he just did on the roundup, just paid for all the
Yeah,
seniors. I was like, you know what? I'll never see one of your movies, nigga, but you are okay in my book. Okay.
absolutely.
Make all the
Absolutely.
badass movies you want, as long as you can keep you actually know how to return it to the community in some way, shape, or form. And this ain't the first time you've done this.
Yeah,
It's like
we'll give him
whatever.
that.
Make all the acrimony 1, 2, 3, and 4 sequels that you want to make.
Shout out to O for keeping him in heavy rotation.
Word. All right, let's go to
Yeah,
break. Let's go to
so
break.
thank you so much. I think it might be time for a break.
Yes.
So I just want to say for all of our wonderful, devoted listeners, I love your letters. I'm so proud of all of you all who have sent your letters. But now we have another level for you all. You can speak your truth. Frozen. Are
Okay.
we back?
Well. Okay. Yeah. We just doing 2 videos because it stopped,
Oh,
and so we going live again. That's why we got a half an hour to go. So just jump right in, and she'll paste it together
all
later.
right. Well, we are talking about the Speak Your Truth initiative that your gay aunties has on Instagram. All you have to do is go to your gay aunties and click that link at the top in our bio, and it has a section there for you that says Speak Your Truth. And you have 90 seconds. Right now, we are in National Poetry Month. So if you have a poem that is 90 seconds that you want to share with your aunties, go ahead and knock yourself out. Share your poetry with us and we will share it on the show. Also, if you have a question that you want to ask your aunties, if you have something that's pressing, maybe you watched or listened to an episode and you.
Okay, you good. Hit it.
All
Damn.
right, so start the whole thing over.
Oh no, I guess yeah, we have the I don't know, the internet just blocked out or something. Anyway,
All right,
no.
so I
Go
was
Sunday
going over
Sunday brunch,
our
Sunday
upcoming
brunch.
guests.
Yes.
Yes. So we have the incomparable Jessica Holter coming on the show next week. For those of you all who are not familiar with her, she is the founder of the Punani Poets. She will be here with us to wrap up National Poetry Month with the gay aunties. And I'm just so excited to have her on the show and talk about how she has been able to maintain this following, this tour life for how long has Punani Poets been going on? 10, 20 years? I don't know. I'm just exaggerating at this point, but it's been a while, longer than most,
Mm.
right? And I'm just so proud of her and the work that she's doing in the community. They're in Atlanta now, too.
Okay.
So doing wonderful work on sustaining cultural and communal spaces in the city. And so I'm so excited to have her on and talk about that.
Okay, I'm excited about that. All so much excited. I'm just gonna. There are so many ways that you can support your gay aunties. Oh yes. And you know what? Again, we say support us, but us is we, us and we.
Mm,
Okay, so the things we do, yes, we have fun and it helps us work our time here in Coronaville. But more importantly, this is a community effort. So if you want to support this community effort, that is your Gay Aunties podcast. You can do that a couple of ways. You can go to the merch store, and guess what, niggas? We got new masks. The masks are back. So now you got two options. You can do a bandana if that's your steez, but we actually have actual masks. And these masks are
nice.
special. Why? These masks are special because they not only protect you a little bit. It ain't for like dealing with no don't go to a hospital with these masks. You know what I'm saying? This like going to the store, running some errands. So you
Mm-hmm.
protect yourself, you protect others, but also you send affirming messages out to your community. Like we still here,
Yeah.
or I still see you. You know what I'm saying? We gonna get
Love
through
it.
this. There's a lot of different cool messages that your aunties either said or we just say as a community. That sometimes you can say things in silent. My favorite is "I slay as we pass."
Yeah.
Nigga, you don't gotta say shit to me, but I'm sending you love, and don't I look beautiful as we pass each other? You know,
Yeah.
but things like that can bring a chuckle out of people, and people need a laugh where they can get it these days. So with
Absolutely.
this, you hit all. It's a win-win-win. It helps the podcast, it helps yourself, and it helps your communities. You can go right to the link in our Instagram, and there you'll see a link for our merch store and see those nice, gorgeous masks. We just gonna sell masks and t-shirts at this point, y'all, cause ain't no nigga want a hoodie right now. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna sell the stuff you need. You know what I'm saying? And another way you can support us is patreon.com/what your gay aunties. And that is give what you can when you can. You still get access to us going live. Just come to us here on YouTube, on Sundays, and that's all live. So you don't gotta pay to do that. But if you got some coins in your pocket, trust me. Everybody put in a coin. We got more than $1, and that dollar definitely pays the bill. So when you got it, definitely holler at us at patreon.com/your gay aunties. And the last way you can always support us is lettuce.
Letters.
Lettuce, not lettuce as in a salad, as in I'm trying to grow a garden during these times. Not that lettuce, a letter. Hard R. Hard white
Yes.
people are. Letters.
I'm done.
Your lettuce is literally what feeds this show. We've been running a little dry, y'all. I know y'all going through shit, so write a poem, write a letter, write something, but send it to your gay aunties at gmail.com. Or you can DM us at your gay aunties on Instagram. Or you can DM us at your gay aunties on Twitter. We everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So, whatever you're going through in your corona life, whether dealing with love, dealing with roommates, dealing with your own mind, dealing with parents, there's so much to deal with.
Yeah.
Holler at us and I think we can help you through. All right? So, with that being said, we're going to go on to a letter. And guess what, folks? It's an old one. Because guess
Ah.
what, folks? We ain't got letters right now. Knock, knock. I wish I could
Mm-hmm.
make an echo sound. Echo, 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 empty, empty, empty. But
Hello, hello,
hello,
hello.
hello, 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 children, 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 children. Anyway, so this letter's an older one, but it's one of those letters we said we will always go back to if for some reason we run dry. All
Mm.
right? Because it was a deep, thought provoking letter, and as we're finding, it's timeless.
Yeah, absolutely.
So maybe just to refresh folks' memory, we'll read the whole letter and then go to that one question of many questions that this person asked. But we answered all of them except for this one question. You want to read it or?
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll read it.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a letter per se, but a series of questions I don't have answers. I'm wondering how you both navigate change and control in your lives. When did you all know you were done with any one or thing that no longer serves you and you walked away? A constant struggle to maintain control or lose control and let the story write itself. When there is no longer growth in the atmosphere, I'm still fearful to lose control. And so the question that we are focusing on is
Mm-hmm. Mindset, I think.
mindset. How did you change it? So,
Hmm.
what do you think?
Um, if it was a mindset, how did you change it? Um, Mindsets are motherfucker hard. They hard to change, boy.
Yeah. So I was just kind of thinking, um, I know for me, there are times where like I think that what I believe about a situation is the truth, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that because I believe it, it's right. Right? And then sometimes you are challenged with meeting people who kind of push up against that in some way, right? Um, or you just might realize that maybe that idea is outdated a little bit, right? So I know that for me right now, I'm teaching in for the first time in a school environment that is not impoverished.
Mm.
I have been doing a lot of my work focused on children who, have the most significant struggles in their home lives.
Mm.
And I thought that's what education was about because that was the only experience that I had. And now I kind of feel like I can do things in a different way. Or I realized that I had to do things in a different way because I was speaking to a completely different audience, right? And who I was and who how I showed up in a space had to be different because like I'm in a new city, I'm in a new space, I'm in a new environment, like I have to be a new thing in this space. And sometimes when we go into new spaces, into new relationships, into new partnerships, into new, business, connections, whatever that is, and we're just like, this is me. This is how I am. This is what I do.
Woo.
This is how, you know what I'm saying? Like maybe what you used to do does not fit in this new time. And I
Mm.
started really feeling like, am I a good teacher? Like, And I had all of these students that was like, oh my God, you changed my life. You blah, 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 blah. And I'm in this new experience struggling. And I'm just like, oh, like I gotta do this a different way now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like what I used to do was perfect for where I used to be.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm asking to move up, right? If I'm asking to go into these wonderful new spaces, then I gotta be a wonderful new thing in that new space. Right. So like that's where I am, and just the first thing that popped into my mind when I read that one.
Well, a couple things popped into my mind, and the thing is, like, you're right. Like, you know, it's not just knowing that things change or someone can drop bombs on you or you can be placed in different situations that are going to challenge you to think differently. I think even before that happens, because it will happen, because if it doesn't, you're dead. I'm sorry. But is preparing yourself now to always constantly saying, I don't know everything, to always be in a state of curiosity. Because the only thing I'm referencing, and it's kind of a random thing, but a lot of times we are raised, as in our parents or whoever raised us, and there's certain things that are so locked into our heads, there's nobody's going to change our mind, right? And really all we're doing is spewing the same verbiage that our parents said to us. When we talk about the thing, like, we haven't really discovered our own voice around it. So we're kind of repeating what our parents or what the church or whatever those influence were when you were a child and formulating your thoughts. And now they're so hardwired, you just don't want to hear nothing. And how this happened for me, it actually was religion when I was a little bit more devout, if you will. Not hardcore, but more than I am now. And I remember my homeboy, this is like early 20s, my homeboy, he's a really big history buff and everything at the time. This is before I even knew I was a history buff. Right? And I still identified as Muslim, right? And I remember we was having a conversation, and I was like, well, Islam was spread by example. So Muslims were just prancing around the world, and because they were just such magnificent beings, that's how they spread. And this is what I was taught from day one, and there was nothing else to tell me different.
Yeah.
So he was like, what the fuck you talking about? Them niggas conquered, right?
Right.
And me and him, like, he hit such a core tenets in me that I felt like I was ready to fight my friend over this. But at a certain point, but he didn't back down. He's like, nah, I ain't gonna let you fly away with this shot. Like, that was my name back in the day. He's like, nah,
Yeah.
them niggas wasn't like just over floating around, just in, they was like, look at these Muslims, they're amazing. Look at their example. Ooh, they got great family. No, they conquered like everybody else, like everything else was spread. They conquered, right? So I finally, and this is the thing, though I left the argument still arguing, what also was a part of me is, well, let me look it up. Let me
Yeah.
not just rest on my laurels. Let me not just rest on what daddy told me, what whomever told me. Because those things are connected to how we love our parents or how we love those formative years. So when we let go of that kind of information, it's difficult. But I did, and I looked it up, and he was right. So I let it go. But I'm
Yeah.
saying that to say that you can apply that even to the things you think is die hard right. Like, a lot of us are very politicized. Not saying and I'm not going to go too deep here, but,
Mm.
as far as being able to change your mind, it doesn't mean changing what you believe in. It may be changing how you communicate what you believe in. So say you have, idea of what is right in the world. And here comes somebody saying, well, I disagree. Yes, you can cut their head off and you can cancel them and do all that. But I've learned at the end of
Right.
the
Or
day, or how can I serve us both? How can I present to this person a bit of knowledge in a way that if they don't receive it in this moment, that's okay, because this ain't about me. But I set a seed down. So I want to say the way to kind of change not just your mindset, but others is really learning how to communicate. And it's not an easy thing. I still struggle with it because sometimes I get in my self-righteous modes too, and I like to stomp a nigga's head in. especially
Mm.
online, and it's time. But I'm old enough to know when I'm doing that for sport, and I'm kind of, for lack of a better word, I'm kind of jerking off a little bit on myself because I'm just so smart, right? And we know when we do
Yeah.
that. You ain't
Hmm.
doing it for the cause. You're doing it because you know you smart,
Yeah.
okay? But at the end of the day, that person is going to fight harder, even though it can be ignorant. They'll fight harder because I'm not giving them a leeway in to start to think differently. I'm not allowing them to take a breath. So that's how changing
Mm.
mindsets, not just others but your own, is a practice. You have to practice it. So when someone comes along and tells you something, like, you wrong, right? And you're like, bitch, I ain't wrong, I read a book. She's like, yeah, but you didn't read these books. What you mean I ain't read these?
Right.
You know what I mean? But there's a nuance to what you talk about. What you mean nuance? It's black or white, god damn it. Like, so that's what I mean, y'all. It's not
Yeah.
a You gotta be curious. You gotta remain curious. You gotta always question that this person has something they can teach me, as I feel that I have something I can teach them.
What you said, like brought up something for me too. Like how much of who you are now, like what you really believe is you, is gifted to you from other people, and how much of it is based of like trauma and survival.
Mm,
How much of what
mm,
you believe
mm.
like is based off of like what you needed to believe, or how you needed to move, or what you needed to do in order to survive the different, traumatic experiences that you came across. Even,
Mm.
how we relate to each other, and you know even in different cities. Like I know that I am a completely different person in different places that I frequent, right? Because I believe I need to like be a little stronger when I'm in New York. Like, right? I need to be a little nicer when I'm in Louisiana,
Mm-hmm.
right? Right. So we've adapted so many of these behaviors as survival mechanisms. Like, and they don't
Mm-hmm.
all have to be negative, right? Some of them can just be your silence.
Ooh. Mm.
Can be your attack, right? How many of these things are a part of us now because we adopted them from different places in our life?
Mm.
Those
Mm.
are that's like that you can just kind of self-assess and figure out, like, is this me or is this somebody else, like stapled, like attached to me?
Yeah, and this is actually a good time to self-assess because the variable is not there. We all are the damn, what's the one, when you do scientific experience, there's the variable and the
Uh,
control, the control.
oh yeah.
We all are the control part of the experiment because our asses are all home for the most part. All of our asses are home. So this is a good time to assess and say, okay, before all this shit went down, where was I? Okay, here I am now. Write a list, like, what did I believe in? And really, matter of fact, not a list, write little mini essays, because sometimes we say, what do I believe in? Like, I believe that, whatever, here's something simple, like Democrats are better than Republicans. Something
Hmm.
just broad and whatever, like that. For
And
most
then
of,
why do I
why
believe that?
why do I believe that? Why do I believe that? Would I be open, and would I remain closed to someone? I ain't trying to hint shit because I ain't never voted for a Republican and probably never will. But I
Hmm.
do believe that the parties are a problem, period. So if a quote unquote conservative came along and was shooting some good shit that checked off a lot of your boxes, even though one of those boxes, like, I don't know about that nigga, but I like these boxes, would you vote for this person if the Dem was not someone you're feeling? Now, mind you, when I say this, I know this is a mad random example. None of this applies to this year. All of you are going to walk your
None of
narrow
this.
ass over to the voting booth, pandemic or not. So help me God, if this pandemic's still going on, I will be wrapped up. Me and my mother will be wrapped up, but we are going to exercise our right to vote. I don't give a fuck if I was voting for Bugs motherfucking Bunny, who ain't gonna do
Oh,
shit for me. I'm not voting for that nigga, and I'm not gonna vote so that nigga can win, so he can do harm to me. Again, Bugs Bunny, who can't do shit to you, as opposed to, what's that nigga?
and they
Coyote.
are really like hardcore saying, like in your face, I'm okay if more of you die as long as my business is secure, as
Basically.
long as my money's right. Like I don't know what like I don't know. I
I,
don't know
that,
how you get past that part. I don't know how you unhear that.
how you want to hear that in, and I want to do a last ditch plea effort to you Bernie folks who have not, who maybe you're young and this is your first time voting, so you're really pumped up and then really disappointed that Bernie's not in the running. Trust me, I understand what disappointment feels like. We all who have been voting for longer have felt that. But what you understand what voting is about is that nothing is won in an election. It is, and I'm going to somewhat paraphrase Martin Luther King, it is about the arc of history. You have to continually contribute to history happening. So though Joe Biden may not be your first pick, he sure the fuck wasn't mine, but who is his VP? Who is his cabinet? Who is around him? Who's going to hold themselves to the fire? And are you still going to be in it to hold him to the fire? But the
That's good.
last
That's good.
thing, because it's all about being able to fight again. And if you don't understand that's what voting is about, and you think that voting is going to be one in one election, you are going to be disappointed regardless if Bernie got in or not. Okay?
Yeah.
All right? So drop it. Don't be selfish. And trust me, you're being selfish not only with yourself, obviously, because it's feeding whatever, because you're just fucking pissed. You're being selfish in regards to your family, to the people you love, the people you don't know, but who have people who they love. Who everybody wants to live their life. Everybody wants to continue the fight. But there is no more fight if that nigga gets in again. Y'all think this shit is surreal.
Yeah.
Y'all think this shit is bananas. So,
Yeah.
so
So,
as far as mind state, continue to exercise your mind and your legs and your
yeah,
fingers all gloved up, and you vote in November.
absolutely. I love it. We are like on one accord with that. And I enjoy when we get into our political conversations. I know it's time to wrap up. So I just want to say to all of our listeners, your letters with
Letters.
the hard R, right?
Oh, we have an
Please,
announcement, don't we?
if you want
Mm-hmm.
to send them at yourgayaunties@gmail.com. If you want to
Mm-hmm.
DM us on Instagram or Twitter, please remember to do so.
Exactly. And just one quick shout out. We want to start doing announcements since there's so many good things going on in our community and everyone has access to it because what? We're all home and online. We want to big up Monica Ray. She's here in Atlanta. She does incredible work. She was on the show some
Hmm.
episodes ago. She does a lot of reproductive justice work here in Atlanta, but she's also an artist. Okay, so she has a thing going on called the Living Room Series, a new indie art experience. And by the time that this comes out, there's two more Living Room series you can catch. One's on the 23rd with Zoe Flowers, and another one on the 24th with Lock Star. It's like they're doing creative talks, they're doing live music. So if you just want to get around with a bunch of women and just chill the fuck out, all right, that's what you need to do on the 23rd and the 24th. And you can find out more at Artivist Monica Ray. Okay, is there another one you can find it out? Nope, that's it. Just artivist, Monica Ray, Raye. All right, and we'll put the her link to the Living Room series in our show notes. And so, with that being said, we love y'all, and my name is Hanifa Walida,
And I am Red Summer.
and we are your gay aunties. All right,
Bye,
woo.
babies.
Bye, darlings.